Hello, here's my vlog for December 21st, Saturday. It's 10:39 in the morning. Yesterday, last night, I went to the gym, but it was at like 8 because I thought I was going to have 2 hours, but I forgot that 24-hour fitness closes at 9 o'clock on Fridays. So I was in the gym, I'm like, yeah, planning on doing a whole hour, and then the guy comes by, he's like, we're closing in 5. I'm like, oh, fuck. So all I had time to do was, I went in there, I did 15 minutes of sauna this time, because my phone overheats at 16 minutes, so I guess I'll go in there at 15, because I've been going in there 10 minutes, and it seems like 10 minutes just isn't long enough. Like, I'm in there, and then feels like I just got in there, and then I have to leave, so 15 is a little bit better. But I can't stay any longer than 15 if I'm going to be on my phone, because my phone overheats. And the last time my phone overheated, I can't film anymore. Like, check it out. This is what happens if I try to film. You hit that, and it just, there's no response whatsoever. And then you just get darkness, and then when you're like, why is there darkness? It just goes back. So it doesn't matter. I have a video camera, but, and then I went in and to run. And I set it at 6 because the last time that I ran, for the first time, I ran 3 miles at 6 miles an hour. And so I'm running, and I'm running at 6, and I didn't feel as good as the last time. And I was like, oh man, I still thought that I could be able to run 3 miles at 6 miles an hour. But the problem was, when I had like a half lap to go in my first mile, my left calf started to get like super sore, like I couldn't run anymore. You know, like if I kept running, it would be like off the chart painful, like I tore the muscle or something. So I made it to 1 mile at 6 miles an hour, and then I got off. Yeah, and then my left calf was so sore because I had an injury there, and like my left ankle is really sore, so much that I like limp, like I have to consciously push. It was a stupid ass injury I never should have had. I had a retarded person belay me climbing, and this handhold broke off, and I fell and my ankle went way up, and then I had to run a couple months ago, weeks, like the day that I got off the crutches, and so I got on the bike, on the Recline bike, because it's just easier to look at, like, whatever I'm watching. I was watching an interview with Michael Jackson's bodyguard, and he was talking about Michael Jackson. I need to finish this Thomas Cromwell book, but it's the most boring goddamn book I've ever heard in my life. I can't, way too detailed of just stuff I can't focus on. But I'll try to finish it today so I can get going on the next one. So it took I rode for like a half hour. It took me a half hour to get 5 miles. I think the watts and the miles are wonky on that, because I was riding hard and I'm sweating. So anyway, and then I proceeded to do lifting. I did hip adduction, and I brought the weight up to 240 pounds. I was at 230 for a while, but it's just not nearly heavy enough. So I cranked it up to 240. But I'll keep the abduction at 235. But I don't think I did it because there are these other guys on it. So I went over and did like extension at 135, and that wasn't hard at all. I think I'm ready to crank up the weight on that. And then leg curl, and that's all I had time to do, and then I had to go. So then I came back here, and so yesterday I pretty much, what my day was spent was, I got up a little, like at 9. I've been having trouble getting to sleep at 10, because the night before I was busy or something, I think with my video, fixing my video. So I got up at 9 yesterday, and then I was, I decided to do a bi-weekly history test, fortnight history test for the middle of December for the 20th century, because I haven't done that yet. I only did AD and then BC, and so I started taking the test like night before last, and it stopped because I forgot to delete everything on my card. I didn't know I had to, but I guess you have to. Every time I do a video, deleting the video off the card isn't enough. You have to actually go to disk utility and erase the card. like manually after every video, or it just fills up. And so it filled up, and then yesterday I tried to finish it, the hour. I was just going to spice them together. But my mom called me because we were going to go to hang out with her friends. So I was going to meet her like friend from college who lives just down in Lafayette. So we went over there, like spent the day with them. They had dinner, and then we came back, and that's when I finished my test. And I graded it. So I'm going to upload it to my main channel right now. So I'm keeping up. Yeah, man, I think at the beginning of like September I did the first, and then the middle of September I did the second, but I never graded myself because I was too busy trying to get caught up on everything else. And so I finally graded it. And so, but now I'm addicted to it. Like now I'm like fired up because all I needed was to have an experience with each of those where I like did well, but I know I can do better. You know, I was afraid that I would get on there and I'd get my ass so kicked that I would be like afraid to. But no, I'm not. I'm totally fired up. Like at the beginning of January, I'm gonna get on there and I guess do the ancient history one, because there's 4. There's 20th century, ancient history, AD, and BC. So yeah, so I'm gonna study and I'm ready. So I did it until I finished taking the test, and I was going to grade it after the gym because I needed time to do the gym. But then I got the gym closed before I realized. So I came back, graded it, which took a while, and then I went to sleep. But it was like 12:30 by the time I had graded it and gone to sleep. So I got up at like 9. I got up this morning, and because yesterday I started the day by driving down to the hospital and getting a blood test. They took 2 big vials out of my blood because there's something wrong with me. I have like chronic fatigue. And so when I went to the gym, that could have been one reason why I wasn't at full strength, because I just hadn't built up the blood that they took out. They took these big vials out, 2 of them. One was a little bigger than the other, but for 2 blood tests. But yeah, so when I got up this morning, dude, I was like tired. I felt like you feel like if yesterday was like this, I rode 100 miles or did some major exercise. I don't know what the deal is because I barely did anything, but that's what I felt like. I need to stretch. I'm not keeping up with the stretching. Yeah, I could do that all day today because my hip is still sore, you know, and everything. But anyway, yeah, I got up. But yesterday, as I was hanging out with my mom's, her like college friend and her husband, she even knew since college. It was like my mom's roommate, also, I guess, after college. But yeah, I was showing my mom's husband, who was a smart dude. He was like 83 years old, but I guess he said he worked in intelligence for 35 years and then was an arborist for 35 years. But I was showing him my website, giving him a tour of my website. It seemed like it went by in a few minutes. My mom said I was in there for an hour, but I was talking really fast. I was like trying to explain everything, and my mom comes in. She's like, "So, do you understand what he's saying?" And he's like, "No." But anyway, when I went to the site to my website on his computer, it like didn't go all right away. It's like, "Oh, you need a certificate. Are you sure you want to proceed?" And then I clicked through to get in, so I forgot. I totally spaced that when other people go to my website, it doesn't take you directly to the website because I don't have this certificate, the SSL certificate. I remember like a few years ago, 5 or 10 years ago or something, somebody did on one of my videos. Somebody said something like, "Hey, when I go to your website, it says it doesn't go there. There's some kind of security thing." And I was like, "Oh right, I need to look into that." So, but then I forgot. Like that's how little interest people have on my website. Nobody goes there to even bother to tell me that certificate, they can't just get there. So I got up this morning and I was like, "Oh man, I got to fix that." So I got on ChatGTP and I'm like, "Hey, what's the deal with this like certificate thing? Like when you go to my website, they say there's this security deal or whatever." And it's like, "Oh yeah, you need to go to your server. You need to like buy the certificate." I was like, "Really?" So I go to my server and it was a fucking $100. It's like, I guess if you get the premium, it's $200 a year. And I was like, I can't afford that. So it's $50 a year. But I had to pay $100 because there's like a 25 activation fee and some other 25 fees, so I had to pay. So I tried to buy it online, but somehow the transaction didn't go through, so I called, and then they sent me a link to try to buy it online, I mean over the phone, but they sent me a link, and then the link was the wrong link, and so she's like, okay, I'll just have them email you in 20 minutes, so maybe by the time I'm done with the video, they'll email me and I'll get that fixed. Because I was wondering, like, you know, I always talk about how it seems like I don't have a website, because nobody acknowledges that I have a website, and like nobody in my family, nobody except for my mom. And I think this could be one of the reasons why. Like, I actually don't have a website. People go type my website, you know, especially if you don't know about computers, you know, and then you see this big, like, confusing page that says, like, authentication security problem. Like, yeah, people are going to bounce. And all the new visitors I get, it must be people who like really wanted to go there, because all you have to do is hit the button. Like, you want to go to the site anyway, and you go, yeah, and you click in and you get in. But you know, like my website, it kind of, because I know who goes there. There's a counter. There's like 65, 77 people have been on there, but it gets stuck. Like it's been at 65, 77 for like a week, you know. So like people only go to my website. New people who've never been there only go to my website like once a week, but then it comes in waves. Like it's like they tell their friends or something, because then it jumps up by like 5 and then it stays there. So maybe that's why. Oh, and also, you know, it said I applied to 52 jobs. Now it says I applied to 50 jobs on Indeed, and I know I only got emailed back by 2 people, the preschool for the preschool teaching job and for the teaching autistic jobs. And I applied for like everything, and nobody responded. So, you know, that could be another reason why nobody's interested in me, because I'm like, yeah, my website, do this, my website, that. And they're like, what website? All I see is a certificate dealio. So, yeah, God damn it, I wish I knew this before. Because when I go to my website on my mom's computer, her computer goes right on there. Because we must have bypassed that security thing like years ago. And once you bypass it once, you don't have to do it again, right? And so I just forgot. I forgot that was on there. So I'm in the process of trying to fix that. And I also, there's this company, there's this like department called CDC, work rehabilitation or something. It's for like disability people, mental disabilities, physical disabilities. And I'm going to get and I have like a social disability. So I called and I'm like, yeah, can I get a meeting there, because nobody's hiring me. And so I'm going to meet them on the 12th with my mom, and I'm going to bring a printout of all the jobs I applied to on Indeed, like not a printout, maybe a printout, and then the emails, right? So I can prove all the jobs I applied to and how I didn't get any response. And like the autistic teaching job, I couldn't follow through with that because, like, they told me to sign into their website. It's some big national organization. But in order to get into their website, you have to get a verification code. And I just kept clicking over and over again on send the verification code to my computer, send the verification code to my phone, and like twice each, and it never went. I could try it again now, but it didn't work. And I wrote them. I'm like, yo, the verification thing, and they didn't write me back. But the preschool teacher is interested in me. But the problem is I don't have a license, and so the lady from the license department just wrote me, and it's like I'm trying to decipher what the hell they're talking about. I guess you need 21 points in 2 different sections, but I don't know what sections they're talking about. I'm gonna have to look at that. And like a college degree is like 10 points, so then I have to get another 11 points in some section. Then there's some other section I have to get. You know, and like work experience applies for points, and I do have work experience, but they'll just have to take my word for it, and I don't know if they do that, because I don't have like any proof of it. This is a long time ago. So yeah, I'm still looking into it, if it's feasible for me to get this preschool certificate. But if I get it, I think I'll get hired, you know, because it's kind of within my my industry, the education. So yeah, it's still in the process of trying to get a job and still blowing money. I think I have to blow $100 on that blood test, and then 20% of like the test, I think they said, and now $100 on this certificate. So hey, if you know anybody with money, you guys should give me money for Christmas or my birthday. I'll put your name up on my donation list on my funding page. Because my money is sinking like a fucking Titanic. Um, so, yeah, so I think I got like a 200 or something. I got a higher score on the AD test than I did on BC and 80, and I'm coming up with, ideas. Like, I need to write rules for the test, so I'm kind of figuring them out as I go along. Like, like if you're going to do a test, like a random number generator for the 20th century where there's 100 of them and it gives you like 1949, like if I were to say when was the height of Vietnam War protest songs, it was 68 and 69. Like how many years do you get? Because you don't, like, you can't. That's why I removed getting points for Bronze Age in the BC, because it just covers too many years. If you're going to say Bronze Age, you have to be specific to the part of the world and which Bronze Age it is, and that's the only way it counts. So same thing, like I can't say like, it asked me 1925, and I'm like, oh, that was during the Roaring Twenties. It's like, no. You could say Roaring Twenties if it was like by the decade, like, the AD, but not if it's by the year. You have to say, like, if it's 1925, you have to say, like, that was the year there were the most speakeasies. And if there were the year that was the most speakeasies was in 26, and 25 was the second year, it doesn't count, And so you have to pinpoint it to the exact year, even if you're 1 year off. Because like war protest songs, the exact year was like 68, and so point it to that. 69 wouldn't count. And also, oh man, I had another rule that I came up with. Let's see if I can remember it. Yeah, and like for the president, I keep forgetting to list who the president is, man, because it's a free point if you remember, but like you can get 2 points from president, because if you guess what the president, if like 1984, if you say Ronald Reagan was president that year, but if it was like 1981, you could go like Ronald Reagan was president that year, and it was the first year he was president, so you get 2 points. Like I said, like it was 1901. I said William McKinley was assassinated, so that's 1 point, and then you go and he was assassinated because he got shot in the chest. And so there's another point because you know how he got assassinated. And I said, while he was giving a speech, and he wasn't giving a speech, he was at a convention. So that didn't count. And he got shot in the belly, but not the chest, but I kind of gave myself a point. So, it's just these little, all these nuanced rules you have to come up with, like how life is. And that kind of tells your character, right? If how much you cheat when you grade yourself, because people can see how you grade yourself, and if you have bad character, a lot of times you're not going to be able to hide it. You're not going to be able to hide your bad character. You're going to cheat anyway, and then people can see it. And so it tells you 3 things when you take the test. It tells your memory, how many points you get, whether you get right or wrong. It tells you, your character, how honest you are in grading yourself, and then also it tells you your values, because some of them are more important than others. Some like you get the same points, but some answers are better. Like if you focus on like laws that help the poor and make the world a better place, that you don't get more points for that, but you get better values. And the way that you can figure that is you would just, and I was originally just going to do it manually, but now you can do it with AI. Like you can get all of your different tests. Like you get, like say you have 50 tests that you did that were all AD, or no, you don't even have to be AD, you mix them up. Say you did 50 tests, accumulated AD, BC, and everything, and it wouldn't really matter. It doesn't apply for ancient history, but AD, BC, recorded history, 20th century. Say you plug in like 50, ChatGPT doesn't have the memory for that now, but say you plug in like 50 of your results, you just copy them off YouTube, of the ones that you got correct, and then you go, hey, where are my values? And then it just scans and it says the stuff you were talking about, and then it'll spit it out. Oh, your values are in entertainment, because we were just talking about when movies and books and stuff came out. But if it's all about, or if it's just about rich people, oh, your values are just with like things that rich people own. Like you're talking about wine and castles and stuff. And then, but then if you're like talking about like social stuff, laws and all that stuff, religious, then you're like, oh, your values are with the people and religion. And so whenever you show your grade, you go like, I have an average of, you would have accumulated points, you have average points, and then you max points, and then values, and then of course character. And I was explaining to my mom's friend, like, you can put that on all on your t-shirt. I want to sell merchandise, and that's how I want to do it. Like, because back in the days of Rome, they would have like stripe if you were a senator, a double stripe if you were consul, only patricians could wear togas. And then in like the 1500s in England, people would wear their coat of arms. And then certain people were only allowed to wear, like the emperor was the only guy, and Rome was only a guy who were allowed to wear red boots. And then, the emperor was the only guy who was allowed to write in a purple pen. And in the time of Shakespeare, it was like really like the same thing. So that's how we go back to that, where you can actually wear your levels on your sleeve. And so I'm going to design like a t-shirt that you can kind of like, somehow you can, maybe with washing it through the machine, it washes out like the ink that you write on it. And then like every 2 weeks you write in your new level and you walk around displaying your level. And so, yeah, so, but it's my mom's birthday today. So she said she'd call me in like 2 hours. So I kind of have my work cut out for me. I still need to clean. I haven't cleaned forever. And if she comes over here, I need to have it super clean or she'll freaking freak out on me. And, yeah, I got to figure out this certificate thing. God, I hope they can take my $100 and switch my website on so that I can use my website to get a job, because I am still kind of like a pariah. Well, somebody called me for the security guard the other day, so I can call them back. So that's cool. They showed me interest in that. And if I can get the certificate, because they're showing interest in teaching little kids, but all the old people jobs, I get rejected from all of those. I'm seen as like the kind of person old people don't like, which is not true. I guess because my website wasn't impressive enough, or they were afraid to go to my website. So this certificate thing will help. And I also got rejected across the board from the dispensary jobs, even though I have a license that I blew $165 on. So. And I wasn't responded to any of the other ones. I'm just talking about the ones that are straight up. I got blatantly rejected because it says not selected in red, capital red. But the other ones where they're ignoring me, it just says no response. So I'm going to see if I can get a job over at the gym on the 6th. I'm going to bring my application in there and talk to the manager every time I go in there, so he thinks about me. Hopefully he's the guy who can hire me, or he can help me get hired, because that would be a good job for me, because it's right across the street. I love, like, not commuting is like, I think it's underrated. Like, so many people would probably be happier just having a more simple, basic, less paying job that's across the street than having their, like, the job that they like that they have to commute for. I mean, ugh. So, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go check my email and see if I can get this SSL thing on my website for the first goddamn time. God, I wish I knew about that. But it doesn't really matter, because my website wasn't really all up to snuff. It's getting up to snuff now. And then I'm going to upload this, and then upload my test. My graded test, man. Boom! And it comes right after the day that I said. I did a YouTube video a couple days ago. I was like, the future of YouTube is intelligence and physical tests. And, so now I am actually following up. I'm actually walking the talk by showing the test. And then I'll do the physical one whenever, maybe pretty soon. I didn't feel very strong yet. I thought I would be doing more often, but I did, the dumbbell squat press exercise. That's the main one in the house. And man, I could barely even pick up the 25-pound dumbbells. I've gotten fit since then. But like, I don't know how thin I am, because I have this, I have those fat testers that you hold on both sides of your hands, and it sends the electrodes to your body and tells you what your fat is. And like, when I first started trying to work out, I mean, when I first got this thing a couple years ago, I did it. And then like a couple months ago when I started working out, I did it. And then I did it like a couple days ago when my mom was here. And literally every time I take it, it says my fat's 33.5%, right? And when I look in the mirror, I don't see like a obese person. I don't see a fit person, but I see like a regular dude. And I was like, am I really that fat? 33.5%? Because I see pictures of other people at that, and they look fatter than me. So I'm like, see, look, 33.5%. It's like, what? It's the same as I was. Because I was stretching the other day, feeling my belly, and I felt belly fat went away, and I even lost weight. I started out at 185 pounds, and now I'm 178.5 pounds. I'm under 180 pounds. And so, yeah, so my mom was over here, and I'm like, look, 33.5%. Oh, man, my fat's not going down. So she holds it, and it says 33.3. And the first thing I said, I'm like, oh, wow, you're thinner than I am. But she's a big fat lady. I mean, she did lose weight recently. She's on a drug called Ozempic that she pays for out of her pocket. But it said 33.3, and she's like, and I look at her, she's fatter than me. She's like, this thing's broken. There's no way I'm thinner than you are. So, yeah, don't get those handheld electrode fat testers, because they'll literally tell you that you're 33.3 no matter how heavy you are, dude. It doesn't work. So anyway, maybe it'll detect something. Like maybe if I get super duper fucking ripped someday and I hold it, it'll say that I'm like 33.2 and I can get less fat than my mom. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm up to, man. I'm gonna go and try to get this SSL thing. First I'm gonna upload these videos. Then I'm gonna do try to do the SSL thing. Then I have to finish the CDC application for the, because it's the company that, the place that helped place you for the retarded people and the people with mental and physical disabilities. I don't have a mental or physical, but it's a social. So if nobody hires me by the 12th, I definitely will have a social disability for sure. And you know, you have to be diagnosed with something. Luckily, I am diagnosed. I asked her on the phone, I'm like, I'm diagnosed and I can bring you the paperwork of Asperger's, and she's like, of autism, and she's like, oh yeah, that counts. So I'm like, dang. So it counts. I actually qualify. And I have the paperwork. She's like, yeah, you have to bring the paperwork. So that could be an in. Maybe they could place me in a job here in Boulder, and then I'm back. I'm officially back in society again with all of the other regular people. So yeah, no, but you know, Christmas is coming up. My birthday's on the 27th. You guys should, somebody hook me up with money. You know, money, it's fun to give people money if you have money. Just like it's fun to get money if you don't have money. So, see, this is the problem with wealth discrepancy. We're back in big time wealth discrepancy. If you ask ChatGPT, they'll tell you. In fact, if you ask ChatGPT, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it like right now. I just got the idea. Like what system of government we live in, they'll probably tell you we're in an oligarchy. You know, maybe with a little bit of nudging, you know. You'll be like, what system of government is America? It'll be like, America is a democratic republic. And you go, okay, but out of the 5 systems of government, like democratic republic, dictatorship, aristocracy, oligarchy, taking into consideration wealth discrepancy and how much of a hand rich people have in the government, what are we? And they'll probably be like, upon second consideration, I think you're correct. We're probably an oligarchy. So, and maybe it'll admit that we're in a fascist oligarchy. Because fascism is where the business people take over the government, and that has officially happened. Trump, Musk. Now Musk is bossing Trump around. Miriam Adelson. Vivek Ramaswamy. People are just buying themselves in, left, right, and center. And so now it's kind of becoming, it's actually to the point where, like, they have these emoluments clause in the Constitution. One thing that'll be disgusting if they do it, but you know, this is how it's happened in the past, is first they pretend that there is no emoluments clause, then they pretend that it's misrepresented it, and then they straight up get rid of it. They straight up change the Constitution because people become wise to it, and they go, hey, you guys are emoluming, it's not a Constitution. Oh, well then change the Constitution, you know? And then they'll change the part about anybody who's been involved in a coup can't be elected again. So now we're ignoring it, and then they'll say that it doesn't count because that's not the thing, and then when they lose that argument, they'll just get rid of it. And then we'll have a new Constitution. So if that happens, I mean, it'll provide a lot of stuff to talk about and write about, but we need to engage in trying to get that reversed right away, and just convince any and everybody you can that you need to get the Constitution back the way that it was. Because if too much time goes by, then you kind of can't, you know? Kind of like Augustus Caesar was in power for so long. It was like 30 years or something that when by the time he died, like nobody remembered. Everybody was dead who was alive when he became in power, you know, when they had the Republic. So it was just a distant memory. And so it was the same thing. Going back to a Republic of Rome was basically the same thing as trying to, you know, go back to the republics of the ancient days. You know, it's just all on memory and ancestry. So, you know, it could happen with the same thing like today if people are dumb enough. Luckily, we have, you know, more documentation and stuff of what happened in the past. So anyway, that's my vlog for the day. Hopefully I'll have time to like do some exercise, but hopefully I can get my SSL certificate up and I'll take my $100. God damn it. God damn it, am I running out of money fast. I'm going to max out my credit card like in a couple of months if I don't get a job. And then I won't have any more recompense because I already maxed out my HELOC loan. So I need, yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm up to. I had an idea to go up to Gold Hill with my mom in her car. I want to do something special, and so I was trying to talk her into driving up in the mountains. It's not that long of a drive, and it's fun and stuff. But she's like, well, I'm not driving on dirt roads. And I'm like, why? It'll destroy the battery. And I'm like, these are regular dirt roads. People drive on them on electric cars. Like have a little bit of adventure in your soul. So I think I'm going to talk her into, oh, but she wanted to do a bike ride today too, a tricycle ride. She's 83, she doesn't ride bikes. Don't ever let an 83-year-old ride a bicycle, that's ridiculous. But she has a tricycle, no, seriously, because there is this old dude who's like her age, who a couple of years ago was her next door neighbor, lived across the street. He went to the dispensary to buy weed, and he hit a pothole, crashed, bumped his head, and died on the spot. And if he had gone there on a trike, he'd probably still be alive to this day. So yeah, even when I'm older, I ain't gonna be. And I don't think he had a helmet on, so that was stupid. But I ain't never gonna ride without a helmet anymore. But when I'm old, I might even not want to ride because you could fall and break your wrist. You know, I might want to just start riding on a trike. You know, maybe like an electric high performance trike or something. But anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to get going on uploading this, try to get the SSL, and fill out that application, and also figure out if it's feasible or not for me to get the certificate. I don't even know what the hell. It's complicated as hell. But I might have to get a job, you know, because if it's like you have to do like a college course, maybe I'll do it. A 3-credit college course, maybe I'll do that. Because, you know, maybe one reason, because I see a lot of jobs offered for preschool, maybe one reason they have trouble hiring people is because people get intimidated by the certification, you know, and they just can't find people who are certified. And it is up my alley. That is the most appropriate job for me because it's education. It's like a career job for me. And I could use it for my insights for what I have to say on my website for education, and I could also be a positive influence for the kids. Like, for these little kids, I would tell them, I'd be like, look, your job is to be omniscient. And then I'd be like, look at my website. Your job is to be able to memorize everything that happens, okay? Remember that. You tell that to a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old in the right way, a lot of those kids are going to remember that, and then they'll try to set it into motion. So, and then, of course, I could explain the idea to the other teachers, and maybe they'll catch on to it. So anyway, that's enough talking. Hopefully all this happens today. If not, I'll do it tomorrow because my mom, you know, she might come over and we'll just do that. So anyways, have a good day. Talk to you tomorrow.